Hey guys, what's going on? I'm ThatNintenGuy here, and I'll be doing something new right here. This is going to be a top 10s thing, which I'm going to be doing on this channel. And I thought, what better way to start off than with Mario? Because, the greatest guy ever. It's a matter of opinion. Yeah. But, anyways, we're going to be starting off the top 10 of my favorite Mario games. Now, these are mine, so if you guys aren't enjoying them or don't agree with me, that's okay. I mean, I know everybody else has their opinions. I'm sure there are going to be a couple on here, which, at least a few, which some of you aren't going to really, enjoy that much. You're gonna think they don't deserve to be on there or something, or that something else should be somewhere else. I don't know. But anyways, let's get right into it. So these are my favorite. You guys can like whatever you want. But I just want you to all know that these are what I think are the best. So it's not necessarily that they are the best. Just in my category, they are my top 10 favorite Mario game. So let's jump right into it. Super Mario World. Now, when it came out, I wasn't really around, you could say. I wasn't born yet. So I didn't really get to enjoy it on the Super NES, having never owned one, unfortunately. But I did get to play it on an emulator later, on in my life, because that's the only way I could think of playing it. Yeah. But yeah, so I did get to play it, and the footage you're actually seeing is of me playing it. I'm at a loss for words here. But yeah, it was definitely, it was a game that I always seem to die in, but I do that with all, original Mario games. But I had fun with it. It was a game that I could die in, but not get frustrated in. I could continuously die, and I would always feel like I would always laugh about it. I wouldn't be, so frustrated I would rage quit the game or something. So I feel like it deserves a number 10 spot on my list. New Super Mario Bros. 2. Now, this is a newer game, and the reason I picked this one is because I feel like it kind of took a familiar part of Mario and made it a whole new concept to the game. Before you would collect 100 coins and you'd be, but in this one, the entire concept is to collect as many coins as you can while still defeating Bowser. So it's not it's an entirely new, innovative Mario game kind of thingy-majiggy, but it added just a new, fun concept that allowed people to have a better experience playing the new Super Mario Bros. Game. Which is why I think it deserved the number 9 spot on my top 10 favorite Mario games list. Super Mario Bros. 3. Now, a lot of people would probably want this to be higher on the list, and actually, I moved it up from number 10. When I first put it on the list, I had it at number 10. I moved it up to number 7 because I remembered all the good times I had with it. Now, this game was basically what Jeremy Meta wanted the next Mario game to be. He wanted a true sequel to Super Mario Brothers, and that's what this came out as. Like, sure, there was Super Mario Bros. 2, but that wasn't a game that people remember. This is a game people remember. And I didn't play it on the NES version because when I had an NES, I wasn't old enough to realize how great the actual Mario series was. I liked Mario, but I never knew how great some of the games were and how much fun I would have had with them. So I never played it on the NES, but I did play it on the Game Boy. I got the Game Boy Advance version of it, and I played that, and boy, that was fun. I had some good experiences with that, except I rigged a lot. But that's because I'm not the best person at Mario, but it definitely had some memorable places for me. It definitely had a lot of memorable places for a lot of people, which is why I think it deserved a part of the top 10 list. Oh, what am I saying? I didn't move it up to number 7, by the way. I moved it up to number 8. What am I saying? It's the third one on my list, so I thought it was... Sorry. But I do enjoy the game, and it is definitely a good game. Now, I know you guys aren't gonna agree. A lot of you people aren't gonna agree with this one, but Super Mario Brothers, number 7 on the list. And a lot of people are probably like, what? Why would you put this on number 7 of the list? Well, I put it on number 7 because at the time when I played Super Mario Brothers, it was good. It was great. It was amazing, but I guess it wasn't the start, actually. It was the start of the Super Mario Bros. Series, but it wasn't the start of Mario. We'll get to that one later. I feel like the other ones that I have on this list are more deserving of their spots than Super Mario Brothers was, even though it was a great game. I feel like these ones deserve it more, and I'm hoping that you might get a little bit of a change in mind and might start to see my side when you're done. And I hope you will stay with me for the rest of the video, because I know I probably just you guys over. You're like, what is this? What is this? But yeah, number 7 on the list, Super Mario Brothers, the original one. Alright, let's backtrack a little bit, all the way back. So, number 6 on the list, Donkey Kong. Now, Donkey Kong, some of you may be thinking that's not really a Mario game. It's not. He's not in the title of the game. He's not the main characters. Well, he was. Let's be clear. It was called Donkey Kong. You were Mario. You played Mario. You jump over barrels. You did kind of ladders. It's Mario game. You saved Princess. Donkey Kong took her away. It's a repeating cycle. And let's be completely honest here. This was a Mario game. It was a Donkey Kong game too, but it was a Mario game. You played as Mario, and I already said all that stuff. And so yeah, that was it. It's like you were Mario, and honestly, I played this one only Atari, because my grandmother had one. And I remember some good memories. Unfortunately, the Atari broke because it was old. So, I remember playing it. It was fun. I mean, I remember I was never be able to get past the first level, but the first level was so memorable, and it really became the game that started Mario. Like if this wasn't a game, the entire video game industry might not even exist today. So this was a really big game, and I think it's a little bit overlooked nowadays. More of a part of history is rather than a great game. Yeah, I think they're gonna need to. They're starting to bring it back. Like I've been seeing on the, eShop and whatnot. It's been coming back, but not as much stress as Super Mario Bros. Because that was, trying to show that was really the big part of the series. But this started it. This was the big game. Definitely deserves a spot on the top 10 list. So number 5 on the list, Super Mario Galaxy 2. Now this can also be said as Super Mario Galaxy 1 because they're just because I've never really, I got Super Mario Galaxy 1, but at the time I didn't like the Super Mario Galaxy 2, so I never played it, and I ended up selling it for one of my greatest mistakes ever. But then I got the second one, and it definitely. It changed it. It changed it around a bit. From what I've seen of the 01, no, I did play the 01, or the first one. Not the 01, because they're about the same age. But I did play the first one, but I never beat it. And the second one did change it, and I felt like I enjoyed playing the second one more than I did the first. But let's just talk about Super Mario Galaxy in general. In general, Super Mario Galaxy was something we had never seen before. This is what we wanted, or not what we wanted, but what most people wanted from Super Mario Sunshine. This is what I'm, they wanted like a cool new Mario game that was still a Mario game, but it had a bunch of new things, and I think that's what this was. It had all your familiar things, but you had, it was amazing. Let's get down to that, and it definitely deserves number 5 on the, top 10 list. Number 4, Super Mario 3D Land. That's my Mario impression. Hope you liked it. Alright, but Super Mario 3D Land. Now, it is a new game, along with New Super Mario Bros. 2. But this was like a portable version of Super Mario Galaxy. Except, there wasn't as much of a gravitational thing, like you weren't on miniature planets, or you weren't collecting star bits or being pulled by stars. I feel like I liked it more than Super Mario Galaxy because it was more of a Mario game. Like, they took the traditional Mario and made it so that it was Mario, but it was to his max. It was without creating a whole new gimmick to it, but using it in the right way, so that it wasn't something with Mario Galaxy where you had the fact that you were in space, or Super Mario Sunshine where you had the water hose. It was a Mario game, but you didn't have any gimmick to it. But it was amazing. And you had all the familiar characters and power-ups that that you knew, so it felt like something old but new at the same time. And it had great balance of both of them, which is why I feel it deserves number 4 on the top 10 list. Number 3, Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. Now, this is another one you guys might argue with me about. This isn't really a Mario game. Paper Mario is a whole new thing in itself. It's like Link and Toon Link. They're two totally separate people. Because that's what some people think. I don't want to say a lot, but some people think that, you know, Link and Toon Link are two totally separate things, and storylines and whatnot, and Paper Mario and Mario are two separate. But to me, they're not. They're just two different gimmicks. Let's go back to the old thing. We talked about gimmicks. Paper Mario had a whole new gimmick to it. Mario was paper. You could fold paper. You could rip paper. You could use a hammer. That's paper, right? But Paper Mario and Thousand-Year Door, and this is different than the other Mario in the Paper Mario games, because it had familiar characters, but it used them in a different way, so that they weren't the same characters. I mean, clearly the enemies were, but that's because you ran to keep the enemies the same at least. But like, there were people there that you knew who they were, but they weren't like exactly who you thought they were. Like most of your partners, like Koopa, but they were like Coop? Yeah, Coop. I think it was. And he followed you around, and he was your partner along with Goombella. But they weren't like, it wasn't a normal Goomba, it wasn't a normal Koopa, it wasn't a normal Yoshi when you got the Yoshi, or Boppery. Like, they were like things that you knew, but you didn't know. And you know, it had that good feel to it. Had a lot of new mechanics to it that you could do since it was paper, and like the cartoony feel of it was really good too. I feel like they're taking out of some of the Mario games these days. I'm not. What am I saying now? They're not. But it definitely had some good. Like when you played it, sure, yeah, you had a hammer, which isn't, I guess, normal for Mario, but it made it was good. And I mean, and the Thousand-Year Door from the other games is because, you know, like I said before, it had most of the people you know now. I haven't really played the first one, but you know, I like the fact that you got partners. I'm pretty sure that you don't get partners in the first one, for the N64. And I feel like it was like this one, you got partners that you knew, you didn't know, like I said before. And it just felt. I feel like this one definitely deserves number 3 because it had a good storyline to it. It also had a good, strong story. Every place you went to was different. It wasn't like you never really saw anything the same. Like everything had a new gimmick to it. And like everything it felt like new every time, which is what I really, really liked about that game. Which is why I thought it deserved number 3 on the top 10 list. Now I know that at least one person is going to get mad about this one. And I'm going to say half of the reason I got that I put this at number 2 was because it was like the first real Mario game I played. Super Mario Sunshine. Super Mario Sunshine. What can I say about this game? This game, you either really like it or you really hate it. A lot of the GameCube games did this, but Super Mario Sunshine, yeah, this is really, really I have to say half this is like biased because I know I knew who Mario was and I loved Mario before I played Mario Sunshine, but because I had the N64, I remember I played Super Smash Brothers, the original one. I played um Super Mario Brothers, but I was never really good at it. I had played Super Mario 64, but I never really owned it. My friend owned it, and when I played it there, I loved it. But I never really owned it. This is the first real Mario game I'd ever played most of the way through. I still haven't beaten it, but because a lot of people didn't like it because it felt like something completely different, especially with the water hose being the gimmick. Like they wanted, oh, Mario's supposed to be floating around. He's floating around in the water hose. No, but I have a problem with that. Like, honestly, there was no problem. It had the same feel. There were people I know. Well, I guess there weren't really people I know. There were those Fino things which were new at the time. But I feel like I know them now because I look back on it all the time. But it was always like it was a new thing, and I feel like it deserved a Mario title. It deserved to be a Mario title because it wasn't a bad game. Like, sure, he had a water hose. It wasn't, something that a lot of people were expecting, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't like, it wasn't Sonic 06, where where half of the game was glitchy. This game had a good thing to it. It was well made, and it definitely brings back memories when I play it. Sure, it was frustrating, but it was like Mario 64 for the GameCube with a different gimmick to it. And I'm using that word a lot here, which is really weird. But that's what it was, and it was definitely really, really fun, and I had some memories with it. And I know a lot of you are probably gonna be pissed, but there are some reasons why, besides the fact that it was the first Mario game that I played, that this deserves a number 2 spot on my top 10 Mario games list. Alright, and finally, we come to number 1. The moment you've all been waiting for, and if you haven't guessed it by now, then you're about to find out what it really is, because it's probably a game you all believe as your number 1 favorite Mario game. And my number 1 favorite Mario game of all time is Super Mario 64. Yes, this game is my number 1 favorite Mario game. And like I said, I never got the privilege to own it. Well, at least not on the N64. I got to play it on the N64. I got to enjoy it on the N64, and I got to see some familiar gimmicks on the N64. And then I got it on the DS, the one with Luigi, and you got Yoshi and Wario in a room that's completely pointless. Yeah, that one. Of course you have Mario, but, So yeah, that was my number 1. And the reason it's my number 1 is because I always loved it. I always loved it. I always wanted to play it. I always wanted to own it on the N64, but at the time, I didn't know how to buy a game. That's how young I was, but I always wanted it. I always went to my friend's house, and whenever we were there, I'd always ask him if I could, just see the game. Just see it in the N64, and just look at it, and oh my god. It looked so cool. I never got to, play the storyline, but I mean, I played it, but I never really got to play it from beginning to end until I got DS version. Um, and oh my gosh, I remember them. I can remember them so clearly, and like all the things he told me about, like a Metal Mario thing. I think there was, and the fact that like a monkey took his hat. Which I thought was so weird. I'm like, how did a monkey take his hat? Then I played it on the DS version. I realized, oh, that's a monkey stole his hat. But it was fun. I mean, even just watching somebody play that game was fun for me. And then when I finally got to play it on the DS, it was amazing. And then I played it on an emulator so that I could, just have everything. So that I could like just play around with things, with the cheats and whatnot. I still had fun with it, and it was a fun game. And whatnot. It's definitely good. It was a good time. Oh my gosh, this is a long video. But yeah, that is my top 10 favorite Mario games. Alright, guys, so you just watched my top 10 favorite Mario games. And if you enjoyed the video, a like is very much appreciated. It took me a long time to get this together. I plan to do more for you guys. Leave suggestions for what you want in the next top 10 thing, as well as one-time gaming. I'm planning on doing more of that. And yeah, so I know I haven't posted a video in a while, and this is because of it, because I've been working on this. So if you did enjoy, I really do appreciate a like or anything, really. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for this video. If you stayed to the end, then I love you, because you've watched this entire video, and I know it was very long, but I'm glad you've stayed till the end, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.